Coming up on Mountain News this morning, anger continues to mount in Laurel County as folks demand answers for the death of Doug Harless. And the new 29th Senate District State Senator is ready to go after being sworn in this week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We're at 6:30 this Wednesday morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, if you are tired of snow, Eastern Kentucky is not the place to be.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that, but I think I'm starting to also love the snow at the same time. It's quite beautiful. I'm not used to seeing it, so it's quite the change for me, but hopefully as you're going through today, you'll enjoy and appreciate the snow as a lot of those roads are in a lot better condition this morning. But let's take a look outside at what you can expect in terms of those temperatures, especially how they will feel to you. So as you go outside here, those feels like temperatures mostly in the teens, some places in the low 20s, but as you're traveling towards Wise, they're looking at the coldest temperatures across the board. 12-degree feels like temperatures, and as we head into the afternoon, you'll continue to see those cold temperatures. We're looking in the mid to upper 20s, but those feels like temperatures will be even colder because the wind is picking up as you're heading into the afternoon hours. Just something to consider. A coat will be necessary from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Now, as you look at satellite and radar this morning, we do have just a bit of some flurries this morning. That is that very light snow, and it'll continue to fall on eastern Kentucky throughout the next couple of hours. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. Community members in London are confronting city leaders over the death of Douglas Harless. He was shot and killed by a London police officer last month. People say they are frustrated with the lack of information being shared. During Monday night's city council meeting, residents demanded transparency. Questions stemmed from the lack of body camera footage. We previously reported London police stopped using body-worn cameras back in March of 2023.
I know we didn't have any idea we wasn't using body cams. That happened while we were in office. Did that happen early on in 2023?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Well, I know the council was not made aware of any of that. We didn't have them.
How long did we have them before that?
I'm not sure.
They were voted in it under Troy Redder.
Another Justice for Doug march is scheduled for January 25th at 11:30 in the morning. Organizers say it will start in the London Big Lots parking lot. A Southwest Virginia man is dead after being pulled from the Powell River. Police responded to reports of a person floating in the river on Sunday. Crews were able to pull 45-year-old Michael Wayne Sullivan Jr. from the river. Sullivan was later taken to the Lonesome Pine Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Multiple fire departments responded to a house fire in Wayne County, West Virginia this week. Dispatchers say the fire started in the 800 block of 13th Street in Canova just before 1 a.m. Tuesday night. No injuries were reported. Several fire departments in West Virginia and Kentucky responded. An audit was released into the examination of Salyersville waterworks in Magoffin County. The period examined was from July 1st of 2021 to March 31st of last year. In that report, some of the findings includes billing adjustments that were not handled properly, receipts not being accounted for properly, and the company engaging in questionable real property transactions. We've reached out to the company for comment but have not heard back. The first day of the 2025 legislative session is in the books in Frankfort. Dozens of bills may be considered in the Senate this year, including a proposal to raise the minimum wage, tax credits for domestic violence victims, and others focused on everything from insurance fraud to Parkinson's disease. The first item on the agenda will likely be a bill to lower the state income tax by 0.5% next year. Governor Beshear will give his State of the Commonwealth address tonight. Former Mayor of Pineville, Scott Maiden, was sworn in as the 29th District State Senator. Maiden was elected in a historic write-in election after the death of Senator Johnny Turner. Going into his first legislative session, Maiden will co-chair the Budget Review Committee on Government general government finance, and public protection. We spoke to Maiden last month, and he told WYMT he is eager to lead and learn.
You know, we've had a retreat and talked about some of the things. You know, in the Senate, you know, one of our main goals is going to be lowering the income tax, and it looks like we're going to be able to do that. And we're going to tackle DEI. We're going to tackle the AI problem with the artificial intelligence. So, you know, we've got our agenda set.
You can still find WYMT's Issues and Answers interview with Maiden after his write-in victory in November on our website. Teacher pay continues to be an issue in the Commonwealth. New data from the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy shows the average district pay for teachers is nearly $14,000 less than in 2008 once adjusted for inflation. That is a nearly 20% decline. Many school districts in eastern Kentucky have seen more than a 20% decline in pay since 2008. Officials are asking people to stay indoors following the winter storm, but if you must brave the bitter cold, it is important to bundle up. Doctors recommend covering your nose, ears, and fingers to avoid frostbite during prolonged time outside. If you notice changes in the coloring of those areas, Dr. Avery Schrum says to get out of the cold and contact a healthcare professional as soon as possible.
You may notice some discoloration of your skin, a bluish, purplish color. Once it gets more severe, then you can see a paleness or even blackening of the skin, like where the skin starts to die when it freezes.
Schrum says if you believe you have frostbite, do not sit too close to a heater or fire because numbness may cause you to unintentionally burn your skin. Here is a list of warming centers you can go to in our area. In Perry County, you can go to the old courthouse on Main Street. There is a warming center in the fiscal courtroom on the 2nd floor. In Whitley County, you can go to the Williamsburg Fire Department or the Williamsburg Convention Center. And in Clay County, you can go to the Crawdad Community Building. There is a link to a list of warming centers in our area at WYMT.com. As crews work to clear the roads, many Kentuckians are finding their car covered in snow and ice. George Servin with Southside Auto Repair in Lexington says cleaning off your car is important to keep your vehicle running smoothly. He says it is important to check that the battery does not freeze when you are ready to start traveling again in the winter storm.
Set everything to defrost and wait about 10 minutes. That front windshield should be pretty clear and you should be good to go.
Servin says using a rubber snow broom helps with pushing off extra snow on the windshield, and wipers can help. He says it is also important to clear off headlights. Our annual winter blood drive at WYMT is still happening today. The Kentucky Blood Center is teaming up with WYMT for the drive. It is here at the station today from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. You can sign up online or just show up. Blood Center officials say the winter weather has canceled several mobile drives, so they are hoping for a good turnout today at WYMT.
As we're heading out this morning, some things to keep note. We do have some flurries falling, but we also have some fog in the area, especially towards the more northeastern portions of our region. Just something to be considering if you are traveling today. Current temperatures are quite chilly this morning, though. We are in the teens and 20s, so you'll need to set out extra time this morning if you are heading out to not only warm up your car, but also scrape off that ice on your vehicle. Now, here's those current wind conditions looking quite calm across the area, making those feels like temperatures very similar to the ambient air. But as you're traveling more towards Monticello, they're looking for some faster winds, making those feels like temperatures just a little bit colder than what you're expecting. Now, for that bus stop forecast, here's what you're looking for. You do have some snow chances this morning as you're heading on the way to school, but by the time you get home, we'll be warming up just a little bit, looking at 25 degrees. Madison.
Warming up to 25 degrees. Thank you, Megan. And thank you all for joining us. The time is now 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, the United States' first confirmed avian flu death is raising the alarm for health officials as they caution the public to be wary of sick wildlife.